I'm going to do a little intro, and then do you want to add anything to the intro? You can't just sit there, you do know that, right? As in, like, I'm going to say, okay, guys, this is our new podcast called Minding Our Business, giving you a bit of background about us. I feel like a lot of the time people don't understand that it's both of us working together. They don't see much of Bobby, but this is our way of helping anyone who maybe has any questions about work, relationships, life in general. And yeah, I'm excited to get this started. We're going to have questions every week and just picking certain topics and just see how this journey goes. What about you?
Is that your actual intro?
Roughly.
So
But I'm saying, do you want to pick out anything that I've said and add that yourself?
No.
Okay, so you got to give a little bit of an intro, but what do you want to add before we go straight into it? You got to add something little.
Why do I have to add anything?
Because otherwise it's like you're my guest.
I'm not your guest, I'm your husband. So, I
Yeah,
think
so
people
this
know
is
that.
like a joint podcast.
Yeah.
So what's your contribution to it? Or do you want not to tell me and then I'll just start and then you can add to your bit?
Yeah, because I'd rather it not be prepared.
Hey everyone, welcome to our new podcast, Minding Our Business. My name is Nina and this is Bobby.
Hello.
So we thought it'd be quite interesting to start something like this. So
There wasn't a we.
We did discuss
and
it.
This isn't like, I know you think we're helping people. This is just, this isn't to help anyone.
Okay, what is it for then?
Just to have a chat. We can sit here, have a chat. People will
I
relate.
think it could potentially help people.
It might do, but that's not what I'm doing it for. I'd rather answer the
Okay.
questions. I'm not a therapist, so I'm not here to help anyone.
Clearly, neither am I.
So this is just going to be me answering my questions, and if people can
What, job
relate.
done? Like I've hired you or something for the day.
If people have got questions, I'll answer the questions. If people can relate to it, fair enough.
Exactly. So you've just said it in another way. We could potentially help people.
Okay, you guys in the comments, drop a comment and say if I said it in the same way as Nina, because this is what she does all the time. I'll say something and she'll say something and she'll say, yeah, you've just said what I've said in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely
That's what's going to make this great.
not. Okay.
Is that I will appeal to the people who maybe say it in the way I say it, and you'll appeal to the people who maybe say it in the way you say it.
Also, just to let you guys know, if I can say something in 10 words, I will. But Nina can say a sentence that could have been said in 10 words in 100.
Yeah.
So my contribution may not.
I don't want to leave any stone unturned, just in case.
And I just get to the
Not
point.
being clear. But anyway, we have a lot that we're going to discuss today. We actually put out a little bit of a feeler on both of my YouTube channels. So I already have an educational beauty channel, which has been going on for how long? Like a couple of years now? Wow, we're coming
Longer
up to
than that.
3 years.
3 years.
Wow. So that has been going strong, and that's our main kind of YouTube channel. And we, like I mentioned, we work together, which we'll talk about properly anyway in a bit. And I do have another channel, which is my kind of vlog channel, which is just a bit of the behind the scenes.
Isn't this going on the vlog channel?
But yeah, this is going to be on the vlog channel. So that was a good little shout out there, babe.
Now you can
I would have
see.
forgotten.
Now you see what I do.
Yeah, what he brings to the table.
And what Nina does.
Yeah, which is what?
So you do all the creative stuff, and then I do all the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I thought you just created a new channel there.
I mean...
No.
Okay.
It'll stay on the vlog channel.
Okay. I'm the one who has the ideas, and he's the one who tells me whether they're going to work or not. I've got the vlog channel, which is what this is going on, but you never know. This could develop into something so big that it kind of ends up being its own thing, completely separate. We don't know. We're winging it. We're going to see how this goes and just see what comes of it.
And welcome, Nico.
Oh, yes, little Nico. Nico, you want to say hello? Come up, come on. Yeah. Little Nico's here as well. He is just the most important thing to us ever. We want to answer a few questions. So like I said, I did put a feeler out on my YouTube, both YouTube channels, and we had some questions that were sent back, and I'm sure over time they're going to kind of like become a bit more interesting. So I want to get right into it. We're going to talk about the first question, which is, where did you and Bobby meet? What's your love story? And that's from Liz from Connecticut. So
Okay,
Liz,
so are you going to start this on me?
I feel like we have
Two different versions.
two different versions of how we met, to be completely honest. So I would say Shall I start? I'll start then.
Yeah.
You cannot change it, babe, because I have noticed that sometimes when we tell this story, your version, it really depends on your state of mind. Like, if you're in a mood with me about something, or you're really not kind of liking me today, your version will change a little bit here and there.
No, my version
You
is
know.
no. The version is exactly what it is. It's
Okay.
just how angry I am about certain events that took place.
Yeah.
I just feel like
But you were
I'm more open to tell you about it now.
No, that's it. Because at the beginning you were very kind of like,
Yeah,
no.
I was like, no, it's okay, but it's actually not okay what you did.
So just to give you a bit of a backstory, we are both divorced.
Not from each other.
Not from each other. I was in a point in my life where I wasn't really interested in dating, because when I kind of went through my divorce, I had realized, wow, the world has changed massively in terms of the dating scene, and I wasn't really into it because it was just very, very bizarre.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything like what it is now.
No, but I feel like that was the turning point. You couldn't really tell if anyone wanted this for the right reasons or not, you know? So I kind of like almost dipped my toe in the pool, and I was like, I don't like this, kind of like retreated and just threw myself into work for a little while. And so on Facebook, I received a message because I have been working as a makeup artist for many, many years. And at that point in my life, we were living in the UK and I was training aspiring makeup artists. So I used to hold like 5-day classes and train wannabe makeup artists. And he messaged me on Facebook and he said, you know, I found you online and I see that you know, train people. My sister really wants to do a course and just wanted to find out some more information. And I was like, okay. That's a bit weird, but okay. I'm going to be honest, at that point, I was like, this guy's just trying it, right? He's just asked me about a training course for his sister, like, who does that? He actually ended up booking his sister on this course. I was still talking to him online, and we just had so much in common. Like, you know, culturally, we were very similar, and there was a lot of similarities there. So I was like, okay, everything seems to be ticking the box here. He seems nice. And then we chatted on the phone for so long, months, I think. And then he said, let's meet up. And I was like, I'll be honest, I was quite comfortable with the way that it was. And then we set a date to meet up and I cancelled. I think it was because I was a bit scared and I didn't really want to, because what if like we met and what if I didn't like him, or what if I just felt, I don't know. I was just scared. And then we arranged it again. How many times did this happen? Because I forget.
I booked a restaurant in London, Novikov,
Yeah.
and the night before you basically messaged me and cancelled.
But did I cancel the once? How many times?
Twice.
Okay.
So I rebooked Novikov.
For the second time.
And
I cancelled.
You cancelled again. I booked it again 3 or 4 weeks later. Yeah, then you cancelled again. Different excuse. First excuse is I have like an unexpected work situation tomorrow. I need to get up early, so I said, okay, fine. Then the next time was again another work situation.
I can't remember what the reason was, but I do know that it was just because I was a bit scared, to be honest. We ended up meeting then, third time.
Yeah, at Gaucho's.
Yeah, we went to Gaucho's this time. I think he might have thought that maybe Novikov's just not working. And you know, to this day, he still refuses to take me to Novikov because of the fact that I cancelled last minute. But I'm fine with that. It's fine. I can live with that if that's my punishment for it. He picked me up from work and then we went to Gaucho. And it was the worst first date ever, wasn't it? It was so bad. So basically, I'm a very reserved person, if you don't know me. It takes a lot for me to open up and to fully kind of like just be just totally normal. So otherwise I'm very kind of like a bit emotionless and cold, right? I think that day I met him and I guess I was really on edge and I just basically was quite reserved. And my answers were kind of like yes or no. I think I had my arms crossed. It wasn't very nice for him at all. And I feel really bad about that. But look where we are now. It wasn't that I didn't like him. I liked him. I thought he's a good looking guy. I'm attracted to him. I felt like maybe I am rushing too fast. That sounds really bizarre considering it took so long to even get to that first date. But I don't know. I just felt like I maybe wasn't ready. I got home before he did. And my sister was waiting at home and she was like, how did it go? And I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this. And she is the one who said to me, you cannot not meet him again. Like, you have to meet him at least one time. She was like, what are you gonna lose? Like, maybe you need to meet just one more time. And she convinced me, and I was like, you're right, okay, I'll need to give it at least one more go, because it's not like I'm gonna marry the guy. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm saying I'm committing to anything. Let's just meet up another time. So I messaged him and I said, I had a great time. Let's do this again, or something along those lines. Over to you. Let's see what your version is, which I've heard so many times, but honestly, it is kind of like what I said.
Listen, it's absolutely not.
Oh my God. Okay, say your part. I'm giving you my version of events from my perspective.
Okay.
Obviously, you have your perspective.
So we were messaging each other for months, and then after that, we spoke to each other for months. Therefore, I think we kind of knew each other pretty well, considering we were talking on the phone every day, messaging every day. And then a day went by. We even travelled to different countries. Like, I went to Canada.
Yeah.
And I think, where were you?
US.
You were in the US. I was in Canada, and I went to.
We were still talking.
Amsterdam, and we were still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like, even considering that we were all like apart. So the time I picked you up and you got in the car and you just went mute, that was very weird, right? And even at the restaurant, I spent must been 2 hours creating conversation, sentence after sentence after sentence after sentence, to avoid awkward silence, and you responded with either yes or no.
Yeah.
Even if I was answering an open question, you were literally not answering back.
Really short answers.
Yeah. On the way to pick you, I stopped off at my cousin's, and then on the way back, I called him.
Who, by the way, this cousin is now married to my sister. You're welcome, guys.
How's about I can talk? This is.
Yeah, go on.
I didn't interrupt you once.
Okay, sorry, go.
So again, right? This podcast, if it becomes 80% Nina talking and 20% me, we'll just call it a day, because then that's not really a 50-50 podcast, is it?
Okay, all right, okay, I get it. Come on.
Right. So I messaged him on the way back, and I said, that's it. Forget it. We've met each other. She obviously doesn't like me because she just didn't say a word. Midway through that conversation with him, my phone beeps. So I'm like, okay, 1 minute, let me just have a quick look. And it's a message from you saying you had a great night. And I don't understand how you had a great night when that was literally a horrible night. It was torturous, asking you question after question after question, and you're not answering. And then I told him, and even he was like, and I can't say on here because I'm going to swear, bleep me. How did she have a good night? And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, well, let me see what I'm going to do then.
I can just imagine him saying that, literally.
And then I got home, and then I was like, okay, I'll give it another go. And then we met up a couple of weeks later, and then you did act like you knew me, and you know we've spoken in the past. We went to Times Square, didn't we?
So did you think I was normal at that point?
Yeah.
Like, that's the girl
Yeah,
I've been
this is the
speaking to
person
on the
I've been
phone.
speaking to. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, fine. She's normal. She can have a conversation. And then after that, so I guess like things have changed now. And even watching, like, if you watch, there's like a show, I don't know if I can say it on here, but there's a show that's on TV at the moment where people will all get put in this villa and.
You can, of course you can. Love Island.
Right. All right. Like, what nonsense? Exclusive situation. Not out of relation.
Situationships.
Yeah. What is all this nonsense? Right? Because.
It wasn't like that when we were younger.
You get to know someone. Oh yeah, the other thing nowadays, people haven't got the balls to go up to other people now and talk to them. When we were younger, when you liked someone, you had to pluck the courage up to go and speak to that person, whether it be in a bar, club, wherever, right?
Yeah.
Now it's an app, swipe. Don't even have to say anything to the person. Swipe left, swipe right.
The whole dating scene has changed so much now, hasn't it? I do think it is a bit more visual because social media and everything like that, like, I fully agree that the first thing you ever notice about someone is the way they look, the way they present themselves, dress, how they look, the way they've put themselves together. That is the first thing that you see. So to me, it's like first impressions do count, because if you don't like that, then you're probably not gonna go to the next stage, which is to talk to them. But what is ultimately more important than that is how that person is as a person. You get to know them, and if that matches what you saw at the beginning, amazing. If it doesn't, and it's not ticking your boxes, or it's not making you feel the best version of you, then you shouldn't really continue. But now I feel like people are not giving that second part a chance. Now it's like, do I like what I see? No. Or I don't even know what way they swipe, but yes, no. You may be way more attracted to someone if you physically saw them there than what you're seeing on this picture.
Yeah, but then I think people nowadays will put on their social media what they think makes them look attractive. If a person is portraying themselves in a way on social media that isn't actually them because what they think that they're portraying is something that makes them look attractive,
Yeah.
somebody doesn't like it or go for them, that's their fault. The person is portraying themselves in an incorrect way.
Yeah, then how do you portray yourself? It's like how it...
Okay, so this is what I mean about social media. Like, okay, fine, Instagram is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't. It's just a snippet of people's lives.
Yeah, it's what they want to show.
Yeah, and I would say that's like a 2%, 3% of their life,
Yeah.
right? Because the other part of their life you don't see. You don't see the reality, do you?
Yeah, obviously.
So this is why I would never judge someone based on what they show on Facebook or Instagram.
No, I completely agree with you there. I do feel like it is very distorted and it is what you want your life to look like, basically. And that isn't your life because what you want your life to be is not always what you're like, it isn't actually what your life is like. So I feel like that I completely agree with you there. I feel like the dating scene has changed. I feel like we are just lucky that I sent you that second message. What if I had not sent you that then what would you have done? You would have called it a day, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That would have been over.
I have to say though, that was your patience, your tolerance. Not that I was doing any of it on purpose, by the way, because I really wasn't. But when I look back, I think to myself, it was your patience and your tolerance that really made me feel like you are different to anyone I had come across when I started or trying to date after I got divorced. Because I thought, you know what, this guy really genuinely wants to be with me.
I don't think it was the patience. I think in the same way that you felt you had your fingers burnt in the past, so did I. So just as much as you were being wary, so was I. It might have looked to you that I'm being patient, but equally I was also like being very like wary myself of the situation.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I think because we were both in similar situations from the past, it was a case of like, I don't want to make another mistake again.
I guess you knew as well,
So
like...
you just take your time and, you know, like I'd rather not rush you into something that you don't want to be in and then face the music down the road. I'd rather just know from the outset. And I'd rather waste 6 months or a year of my life trying to get to know someone and then feel them out than spend the next 30, 40 years of my life with that person because I didn't take the time at the start to figure that person out. So I guess, like, I know you think it was patience, but it's probably me being self-wearing myself without even really knowing.
Yeah, but I think both of us, you're right, we were both kind of being wary about things in our own different ways.
But you did mess me about.
Yeah, okay. I admit, I put my hands up, admit that I was very wary and that may have come across like I was messing you about when I wasn't really. I was just being careful. But I do feel like we...
She's just cut something out that I've said.
It just cannot go in. It cannot go in. But anyway, first and last time I'm going to do that, okay? So otherwise everything's pretty raw. Let's move on to another question because I feel like that gives you an understanding of our relationship and how we met. Yeah, let's move on. So the next one is, people always seem to want to comment on a couple's marriage / relationship. How do you politely let them know to keep their opinions and comments to themselves? That's from Janet, New York.
I guess it's that same thing, isn't it? Everybody thinks that they know what's going on behind closed doors, but they don't. Everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't even really politely tell anyone about our relationship.
I don't feel like we've had people come to us and say to us, you know, anything about our relationship.
Yeah, they have. Okay, here's one. We don't have children.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure people...
So then they've got an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Right? They've got an opinion on us moving away from the UK into another country.
Yeah. Actually,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
So
I completely
people
forgot about all that.
like people do have opinions,
Yeah.
and they have their version of
What they think
what they
is...
think. You know, why we've come, why I'm here, why you're here, and the only people that actually really know are you and me.
Yeah.
So, and I'd much rather keep it that way.
Yeah.
You know, so the way that I look at it is my business and not anybody else's.
It's true.
I don't poke my nose into other people's lives or their business because I respect that, because I don't want anyone to do it to me. So again, whatever happens behind closed doors, somebody comes to me and asks me for my opinion, I'll give it.
Yeah, but you're not going to
But
willingly just go
I
in.
don't go and
No,
volunteer
because it isn't. You're right.
It's not my business.
Our business at all. This is what I don't understand about some people though. It's like live and let live. Focus on your own life. Focus on your own relationship, like whatever it is that you have going on. Like I'm happy in my relationship. You're happy in this relationship. And we are both happy. Like just
There you go. That'll explain our relationship. I get told.
So no, see, on a serious note, we don't actually care. I think we've got to that point, right?
What people think
Yeah,
about
we
us.
do not care. I don't care, and I think that is something that I love about getting older. I don't know about you, but as I've gotten older, I love the fact that I just don't care what people think, and I think that is
Well, people
such an amazing feeling.
people are always going to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Right. You can't change it.
So you might as well do what you want.
So for me, it's one of those things that if I can't change it, why am I worried about it?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to change your opinion. And even if I explain to you the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, it's none of your business anyway.
Well, yeah, why do you need
I shouldn't
to?
have to explain myself.
Yeah.
If that's what you think, I'm more than happy to let you carry on with your life thinking that.
It's true, because it doesn't affect us.
No.
I think we have realised over time that the unfortunate thing is that we don't have people really coming to us saying this, that and the other anymore. Like we just kind of get on with our life. And I think over time we have realised, don't give attention to any of that, because when you do, you're fueling it. Why am I going to stress myself out over someone else's opinion? That, you know, I have my life, that person isn't in my life. Like I'm going to get on with my life and that's it. It's difficult, but I think you have to put boundaries in place, and I think that is the answer to that question. If you want to protect what you have and you're happy with what you have to put boundaries in place, because you cannot let any kind of toxic input or anything like that affect you. If you really want to keep this as solid, as strong as possible, you've got to focus 100% on this and not allow anything negative or toxic to touch it. For me, this is more important than anything. Next question is, what piece of advice would you give your younger self if you could go back in time, and why? That is from Annie in South Wales. I'll let you take that one first.
My younger self. It's a kind of hard one, right? Because I think that everything happens for a reason, and you are in the place that you are today because of decisions that you've taken in the past. So if I said, you know, like if I go back and I had to give myself some advice, I'm quite content with where I am in my life right now. I'd probably say that take your hobbies a bit more seriously.
That's a good one.
Because I'm now 45. So I used to cycle a lot, right, as a kid. And so I've always grown up, like ever since I was young, my dad used to buy me a bike. You know, here's a new, every like birthday, new bike, or whenever I've outgrown my other one. I guess once I started driving, I stopped cycling because I didn't really need to cycle, and I forgot how much I really enjoyed it because I did.
Yeah.
And then after COVID and putting on weight, started cycling again. It's become like a major hobby of mine, and I wish I never gave up cycling
When you were
when
younger.
I was younger, because I'd be much better at it now. So
Yeah, but you're so good at it now.
yeah, that's your opinion, but I've still got a long way to go. But I just enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm nowhere near as good as I would have been if I had carried on. You know, like you need to have something that's yours that you do by yourself that you enjoy. You know, if you can't find something like that, then as you get older, you're gonna, well, in theory, you should have time to do your hobbies. I would say I wish I took my hobbies more seriously, and the other thing I wish probably is that like I was restricted a lot as a child because my dad was scared of like danger, you know, like say like I wanted to race go-karts and I wasn't allowed to race go-karts because he was scared I was going to have an accident. Who knows where I could have gone with that, you know, becoming a pilot. I would
Do
have
you think
loved.
that would you want to change that though? Because like you said a minute ago, like if everything that you have done has brought you to this moment, which I fully agree with. Like I 100% agree that anything in our past, no matter how difficult and traumatizing some of the things may be, they have led you to where you are today, and they've made you who you are today.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'll just say like find a hobby and get good at it.
I agree with you there. I don't think I would change anything, and the reason being is because I just feel like I wouldn't be who I am today. Feel very strongly about the fact that everything that you go through in life kind of molds you into the person that you are going to become later in life. And I think it's important to have things that go wrong, heartbreaks, everything, because I think all of that is making you who you are, and it makes you learn from mistakes firstly, but also become a better person and have a better understanding of people and things and life and circumstances and how things can affect you and others around you. So I feel like I don't think I would change anything. If I could tell myself something, then I think it would be to probably live in the moment a little bit more and savor things that I may have felt were boring when I was younger. You know,
See, I like that live in the moment thing. I think you should teach yourself that now.
people are going to assume that, oh, okay, she's a content creator, she's on YouTube and everything, she probably doesn't live in the moment because she's probably got a phone out all the time. Who sits there with their phone when we're watching anything on TV? I look over because something funny happened, and then I look over at you and you're like this. That means every single thing we put on TV is absolute garbage to you.
Well, no, not everything, but there are some films that are great. You know the types of film that I like, right?
13 Hours.
Yeah, military films.
That's the only movie.
No. Like, okay, if you want an example, right? If you have a look, look at my photo reel in my phone and look at the photo reel in your phone, right?
Right.
So I'm there wherever we go and I'm living in the moment, right? Of whatever's going on, wherever we are.
You're my business partner. You know exactly why I'm taking that.
Okay,
content.
but there's some times where you don't have to. I feel I think you could live in the moment. Like there's some
Yeah,
meals.
I'll take that on board.
Like,
but you need
there's
to take it on board that you are literally addicted to your phone. It has become it's such an issue that sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm literally raging and I have to calm myself down. You don't even see it because I shut it down.
Let me tell you why, right? Because most evenings we are planning our ride for the next morning, right? So on the weekends when you want to watch a film, right?
You're sitting chatting to your cycling buddies.
No, we're arranging what we're doing.
That's no, that's annoyed me even more now because now I know what you're doing. Sometimes you are actually scrolling, babe. Clearly he thinks I should live in the moment more, and I wish I did when I was younger a bit more. I feel like I do now. I savor those moments. I would probably just, the advice I would give myself is, in a nutshell, try and savor the moment a little bit more, but also stop trying to please people around you. Because I think if I look at my younger self, I cared a bit too much about whether people liked me or not. So, moving on, this is a question more towards you. It says, is your husband into fashion and skincare? Have you had an influence on any of his habits, good or bad? That's from Annie Minneapolis. How do you say that?
Yeah, Minneapolis.
Okay, Minneapolis.
So I guess because if I'm at home, I'm just in my home chilling clothes anyway.
Yeah.
And when we go out, I don't mind.
You do dress up.
I dress
nicely.
up, but yeah, I'd rather look smart, but I'm not into
following
trends or high-end luxury.
No.
Like I don't own anything high-end luxury.
You wear a lot of Boss stuff. Let's be honest. Your entire wardrobe is Boss.
Yeah.
So wherever you would class that, that's where you are, right?
And that's as
You're
far
happy
as
with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go any higher than that.
I would say that you are not really into kind of logos and stuff like that. I would say you're quite a minimalist. I don't think you're really into
I thought this question was for me.
accessorizing a lot. Yeah, but I'm giving you my opinion as well.
Oh, right.
Okay, what about skincare?
So fashion-wise, I've not finished yet.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like bright colours.
Okay.
I guess I just like blacks. Black's probably my favourite colour, with the odd splash of colour now and then.
Which is what would you say? Because this is
like
interesting
blue.
to me.
Blue.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The colour that you do wear, if you do wear any, is blue.
or beige.
Yeah. So black, blue, or beige.
Yeah. So that, yeah, but I'm not. So have you influenced me with your like high fashion? No, I'm not interested.
The question wasn't have I influenced you with high fashion. Have I influenced you with fashion? Full
Yeah,
stop.
but you're into high fashion, right?
Yeah, but I still wear Zara.
Yeah, I know you still wear Zara, but like your bags, your shoes, and all of that sort of stuff.
I like to have
So
high
you
fashion
have high
bags
fashion
and shoes
bags
and
and
jewelry.
shoes. Has
Yeah.
that influenced me? No. Like I don't own a single high fashion shoe brand. In that respect, no, because I feel like I'm quite true to myself. Like I don't believe in it, so I
Okay.
won't wear it. Right. So that's one.
Yeah.
Do I think there's anything wrong with it? I don't. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I think each to their own. I'd rather spend that money on a bike or something to do with my bikes or
It's
my
whatever
hobby.
makes you happy,
Yeah.
really.
So, like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but am I influenced by it? No. I guess I've always really looked after my skin since I was a kid. I used to get acne a little bit, and then since then, you know, I make sure that I wash my face. I'm not as excessive as you with your skincare routines and what you do, but I use a face wash and a
You want a
face
good
cream.
moisturiser.
Yeah, and that's about it, really.
Do you think I've influenced you in any way?
Probably the odd time with a face mask.
This is where I know. This is where I know whether you're being honest.
So
or
with the
not.
face mask, I think you have, and I'll be honest. I like the only face masks I don't like those wet ones.
The ones that you wash off. He likes the peel off ones because
so
they're
that-
very clean, easy.
It's not even that. It just reminds me of school days. You know, when you used to put the glue on your hand.
Yeah.
Put like the glue and then you peel it off.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But I think I have influenced you with your skincare because you.
I haven't changed my routine at all.
Okay, in terms of the products that you use.
That's because they get sent to you, and I just try and nick whatever I can.
Okay, and have I had an influence on any of your habits, good or bad?
I guess you got me to chill out a little bit. I was very uptight. I think the only way I could describe myself, I'm very regimental with my routine and my life, and everything has to be scheduled and planned. And I guess in that respect, you've kind of chilled me out a little bit. That's mainly because whenever I'm around your family, I've just learned to. I still remember the first time we had dinner at your house.
What, when it was really late?
Yeah. Dinner at 10:30 at night was not normal.
Well, that wasn't an everyday thing for us either, though. It was a weekend. Weekends were real kind of like family time. That was our standard weekend, like before we got married, like as a family. It was very kind of like we'd have the day to chill, do whatever we want to do. And then evening, we were always together. So it was always kind of like all really enjoyed that. So what we used to do is you saw yourself, we used to have like literally a table full of like, you know, the big chopping boards with loads of like meats and cheeses and dips and everything. We'd have all that like from early evening, and we'd all have like a drink. We'd all have a glass of wine or something. Dad would have whatever he wanted, and that was our kind of time to chill with each other. But basically what happened that first time is we did all that, had all of it out, and that was like a perfect Saturday night for us. After having all those kind of like bites and everything and having a drink and chatting and watching a bit of TV together, whatever, we'd then sort out dinner. Right, so it'd probably be either a takeout, or it might be that, you know, something was being made in the process in the kitchen, and my dad loves cooking as well, so weekends sometimes he used to cook. I can't remember if I think we did make dinner that night, did we, or was it takeout?
No, what happened was, from what you're saying, like we were the same. We used to all had like our family time and everything together. The difference was my dad wanted to make sure that we'd eaten by 7:30, 8 o'clock. that was the difference.
Not with
so
us.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So by 7:30, the meat and cheese came out, and I was like, right, this is probably what they're having for dinner.
What, like just random
Meat, cheese,
bits of meat and cheese?
No, there's pita bread out.
Yeah.
So I was like, right. So I made myself a cheese and lamb sandwich and a bit of pita bread. It was about 10:30 when I was getting ready to leave, and then your dad was like, oh, no, we're gonna order some dinner. And I was like, what? 10:30 at night? So then he ordered some dinner, and I literally could not eat.
Because you'd filled yourself up with all the snacks.
Like these habits of like chilling out, that's what I've had to do. So I just have to go with the flow.
I do think the only other person in my family that kind of like is similar to you when it comes to
Planning stuff Ravina.
ahead of time is, Ravina, my younger sister. At
And-
least there's one person.
Yeah, and she'll get in touch with me whenever she's coming here. Let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah, she'll have a full plan, a full agenda.
which I
is what
appreciate,
you have.
and it's good.
But the rest of us are all very kind of like, let's just see how it goes. Let's just see what we feel like. And I'm one of those. Okay, so that's how you would say. So that's what you would say. That's how you would say that.
How you rubbed off on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've shown me out.
Okay. And any bad habits that you've picked up
No,
from me?
because I don't. I will. I know what a bad habit is, and I'll squash it. I would rather not.
That's where the militant side comes out.
Yeah, like if I don't want to do something and I see it's a bad habit, I won't do it.
Yeah. Next question. What is most important to have a happy marriage? And that is from Rhonda.
What do I think is?
Yeah.
Okay, let me be me, let you be you, and then together we are a couple.
Yeah.
That's what I think
Makes a happy.
makes a happy couple. Like I'm not going to tell you how to be or what to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to tell me how to be or what to do.
Yeah.
But when we come together, we understand that we're a marriage and we're a partnership. And that should come first over what I want to do or over what you want to do. So for example, let's say we've planned a couple's holiday
Yeah.
and my friends message me and say, oh, we're going on a cycling trip. I will know to put the couple's holiday before the cycling trip.
Yeah, it's about having priorities too.
So is that sort of thing. That's what I mean by making sure that the marriage, because ultimately you are partners in what you do. So you have to know what it's striking the balance, right? But if we've had like 5 couples holidays in the year, and my friends want to go on a cycling trip, then I'll come and tell you that.
Yeah.
Look, we've done 4 already. This one's clashing. Can we move it, or can I? No, I'd rather go on that.
But I think we're pretty open like that, and I don't think we really we don't get offended with one another about stuff like that, because we do know that we both equally put us first. So I don't think that we ever kind of I don't think I've ever turned around and been like, oh, why are you going on this trip with cycling or anything like that.
You encourage
if anything, I encourage you.
Yeah.
I'm like, go and do it, But I think that's a good answer, and I stick by that too. So next, we have kind of like 2 questions which kind of like are very similar. I'm going to read them both and we can answer them. So one is, hi Nina, I'm in VA. Where is VA? Oh, I thought it was Vancouver.
That's YVR, Virginia. Yeah.
My question is, how do you and your hubby reset yourselves after a knockout, drag-out fight? Not those normal arguments and bickering. I'm talking about blow-ups. I'd love to see how others handle the aftermath of that type of disagreement. Hi Nina, I'm here in Florida. This is from Lynette. And I was wondering if there was ever a time you two argued and how you guys resolved it. So I feel like these 2 questions kind of tie in together. So, interesting question.
You want me to answer it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just chime in here and there.
The 2 of us, I've got more of a temper, I would say, which I've learnt to calm down. I guess after a blowout, it's just time out. You just need time apart from each other. As in, not like move out. Just like you sit in a separate room, I'll sit in a separate room.
Yeah, I agree there.
And you think about what you've said and done, and I think about what I've said and done. And when we're both calm, we'll talk about it. Which does, it seems simple, but it doesn't always work, because when one of you've calmed down, the other one may not have calmed down.
That's
so you go back, and this is the problem. This is where I think the issue is. So when one of you've calmed down and you go to the other one,
the other one's
still annoyed and pissed off.
Yeah.
And then this is then. So let's say I've calmed down. I've come to you. You're annoyed. You'll react. Your reaction then annoys me. So then I come back and then I'm pissed off, and then you'll calm down, and then you'll come to me and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this, because when I came to you, you gave me this answer. So instead of focusing on what the argument was about, it's now become, I've tried to sort this out and you don't want to sort this out, and now you've come to me. So is it okay for you to sort it out on your terms when you're right? So you've got to basically make sure both of you are completely level-headed before you come to one another to talk, because otherwise you start playing ping pong with each other.
I do feel like I think we've evolved over time. I don't think we have those types of kind of arguments anymore. When we first got together,
when you're getting to know each other and stuff,
we were still figuring each other out.
But then now that I've got to the point where you just let certain stuff go as well, and I'm sure you do the same. Like you get to the point where it's like, is this worth? Like, I know this is going to ruin my weekend if I make a big deal out of it.
at the beginning you're kind of still figuring each other out, and like you said as well, like you're kind of, when one person's okay, the other person isn't okay. You're kind of, it just literally, you're like this, and then you've got to wait until you're both there, and that takes a bit of time.
Is that what I just said?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Brilliant.
But I gave you the movements
The long
with it.
version.
Yeah. So that is basically our first podcast done. How do you think that went? How did you feel? Because
It's not
you
about
usually...
me, is it? It's about you guys. How do you feel it went?
Yeah, but I'm asking
no,
you.
Yeah, but I'd rather... Okay, we've done one now. I want to see from the comments how people found this. If the comments, like, I'll read them as well. So if the comments are good, then we'll do more. If they're like, this is boring or it's too long or whatever, then we scrap it.
What an ultimatum, babe. What I was thinking is, before this even goes live, we're going to film the next one so that we're not...
Jesus, what?
Yeah, because this is obviously going to take a while to edit.
Yeah, so edit
So I've got to
it,
have
put it
one
up.
ready.
So it's a like a tester.
Oh my gosh, only you would come up with something like this.
Yeah, it's a tester.
He really loves to make me feel like he's doing me a favour with this stuff.
I'm not
like
doing you a favour.
He's so hard to get in front of the camera, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, because everyone is different in front of the camera.
This is where she
I've
tries to
obviously
force
had-
me to be something that I'm not. Like I'm
Let
not
me
comfortable.
speak, babe.
I'm not comfortable in front of the camera.
He's not. That's what I'm telling them. You haven't even heard what I'm going
But
to say.
you force me to do
This
this.
is where you need to let me speak, babe.
Do you know what? That
You-
answer I gave you about...
Okay, this is on camera now, how he complained. He said at the beginning, I would interrupt him so much. Like, look what you're doing. Now I've forgotten what I was saying. See what I mean? He does this to me every time. You interrupt me and then I forget what my point
The
was.
fact that you're forgetful is not my problem. That's the thing.
Now you're going to go off onto
No,
another
no.
topic and
No.
it's going to stress me out.
How does Nina
Don't change
remember
the
stuff?
subject. Just let me finish.
Did you not set a reminder for this?
For God's sake. He thinks it's funny. Like, I use the reminder app
For
a
what?
lot. For everything. I remind myself to do everything because there's so many things that I need to do.
Come on then, let's wrap it up quick.
You interrupted me. Don't talk to me
But
like I need to be quick.
I'm being quiet now. Come on.
For God's sake. I'm being serious now. What was I saying? You can't remember, can you?
No. Oh, we were saying whether or not we're going to do this again. So we're going to
okay.
test it, and you think that I'm doing you a favour.
Okay.
blah, blah.
Let me finish. Let me.
So you remember now?
Yeah. Let me take it from now. I basically know that everyone is different in front of the camera, right? I understand I have a lot of experience behind the camera, in front of the camera, because of YouTube and everything like that. I've just got used to it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because everyone is different, but he freezes in front of the camera, which is fine. And I do feel like you have been very yourself on this podcast, considering you have been not so frozen. Usually if I put him in front of the camera, he's like this and doesn't want to move and he's like just very monotone. You have been yourself, which I think is really good. And I think over time you're going to get better and better. And I just feel like you should not put an ultimatum on this podcast, because
It's not an ultimatum.
it kind of
it's
is.
a test.
So really it's down to all you guys.
Correct. So if the audience like it, we give more. If they don't like it, why keep doing stuff that if it doesn't work?
This is the part that I struggle with, because I feel like you don't have to be so...
Black and white.
Yes, sometimes like something will work later. It's not going to immediately like...
All right, so if I make you a dish, I cook you something, right, and it tastes nasty today, if I leave it out for 2 hours, it's going to get better.
Might taste better cold.
Nonsense. It's going to be
It might taste better cold.
nonsense.
What if I did like it better?
Okay, that is nonsense.
Okay.
Okay.
How do some people say pizza tastes better the next day?
It tasted good on day one. It tastes better when it's cold, right?
It's a saying. Have you not heard everyone say this?
And I've heard that, but the
Right.
pizza didn't taste bad in the first place, did it? It's not like something is like
Yeah, but
bad.
no one said this was bad.
I haven't said that, have I? I said it's a test. If it's bad and people say it's bad, then why you put it out again?
Anyway, we are
Yeah,
we're
Nina
gonna
concedes.
see you. No, I'm just not. I could carry on. Trust me, I can carry on with you.
I know that.
So I'm just deciding to take a step back
Mm.
and nip it in the bud right now. So hopefully you have enjoyed today's podcast. If you have any questions, please do let us know in the comments below, because we would love to discuss some different topics with you guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment so that Bobby can figure out whether he wants to do this again. We'll see you next time.